Hello, my name is Sherman Brown, and today we're going to do a Unity tutorial on enemies AI. I have a preloaded scene here with a battleship. We're going to create enemies to attack our battleship. The script for that is pretty straightforward, and I'm going to actually post that in the video so you guys can take that and alter it in any ways that you may see fit to incorporate it in your own video games. I'm going to hit the play button here just to show you the type of movements that our plane has. He can go from left to right, up and down, and he can also go forward and backwards, which is kind of hard to see because there's nothing else in the air in this scene. Once we add our enemies, I'll replay the video so you can kind of see. Let's go ahead and add an enemy. I got this spaceship actually from one of the Unity tutorials online. Let's throw him in. Here's our little guy. 50. Gonna make him larger for you guys to be able to see him. Let's pull him on out. Okay, so let's hit play again. And as you see, I'm moving closer to him and I'm moving backwards. So our ship goes forward and backwards, left and right, up and down. Alright, our little guy is just suspended in air, so we want to make him attack. So I've already created a script for that, and I named it Attack Me, ironically. And I'm gonna go ahead and add it to the little enemy ship now. And let's run through that code really quickly. Okay, so we have a variable for the battleship, which is the target. So the enemy's target, which is our battleship. The enemy ship speed, which is defaultly 3. The enemy ship rotation speed, which is 3, and what's called attackThreshold. So that means once the battleship gets into a certain vicinity of the enemy ship begins to attack it. Same thing here with a chaseThreshold. Once the battleship gets into a vicinity of the enemy ship starts chasing the battleship. Same thing with the giveUpThreshold. After a certain distance, the enemy ship stops chasing our battleship. Alright, moving on down. We have a wake function here, which is basically takes the enemy ship from idle. So kind of alerts it. It's saying let's go. Then we have the start function here, which makes the enemy ship target the battleship. So that gives the enemy ship the opportunity to look at our battleship and decide if it wants to attack or not. We have a collision function here, which this battleship that I'm making is actually going to be like a kind of kamikaze type ship, where its attack function is going to be run itself into the battleship. I'll show you shortly that you can change the attack function to anything. You can make it where the enemy ship shoots at the battleship, which is shooting at us, or any type of attack function that you want it to have. This collision function also works as an activator for when we add weapons to our battleship and shoot at the enemy ship, which if that happens, our missile hitting the enemy ship, it causes it to destroy itself. Our update function, which in here we're going to check the distance from the enemy ship to the battleship. Once it checks the distance, it checks to see if we're chasing the enemy ship, and the battleship. And if our battleship is in the vicinity of the enemy ship, it begins to chase it, and then it rotates to look at the battleship, which means that right now our enemy ship here is back is to the battleship. So our enemy ship is going to rotate around to the front view, look at our battleship, and then begin to move forward with this function here. This is the give up function. So if before we were chasing the battleship, and for some reason we move her out the way and get far away from the enemy ship just gives up and says it's not worth the chase. And this is for the attack function. If our battleship is in a certain vicinity of the enemy ship here, the enemy ship begins its attack. And once again, our attack is just a kamikaze attack. It's just gonna run itself into the battleship and blow up. Once again, you can put any type of attack function that you want in this block here of code. Anything that you want, from shooting to anything. The sky's the limit there. And this just starts the chasing if the battleship gets in the vicinity of the enemy ship. So once again, I have this posted with my video, so you guys can copy and paste it, change it, and alter it any way that you like. Now that it's added, we have to add a couple of things. First, we have to initiate the target for our enemy ship, which is going to be our battleship, and I named it Big Ship Tail here. And the kind of like the animation was really not an animation, but it's just going to be an explosion that happens once the enemy ship hits the battleship. And I'm going to use Unity standard assets, the detonator prefab, and we're going to use we'll just use the basic one. Add it here. Okay, so we're ready. Now if I hit play, you notice that the ship is still not moving. However, if I get close enough to the ship, he turns and tries to attack me. I got farther away from him, so he stops. Let's let him run into me. And he blows up. Kamikaze style. Couple of things. We can change the attributes of our enemy ship. We can make it move faster, which is this moveSpeed here attribute. So I can change that to 15. So it's going to move a lot faster. The rotation speed, I'm going to change that to 50, so our enemy ship turns around a lot faster to look at the battleship. The attack threshold, I'm going to set to 1. Again, he's going to be a kamikaze style type battleship, so he's going to run himself into it. So he needs to be really close to the battleship before he blows up. Now, if you again was making the enemy ship shoot at the battleship, you might want to make the threshold maybe 30 or something like that. So when it's the distance of 30 from it, it'll be shooting. So it'll be shooting from a distance. And we're going to make the chase threshold 100. That allows for the enemy spectrum to look for the battleship to be greater. So he'll be able to find the battleship from a larger distance. So we hit play here. And as you see, he's already coming towards me. Before, we had to get pretty close to him before he started acting. He keeps his eye on you. He goes up, he goes down, right, left, until he gets close enough and he blows himself up. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial. Next time I'll be posting how to make the battleship shoot at the enemy ships. Just comment on this tutorial if you have any questions or concerns, or if you need any help. Alright, until next time.